Alright, obviously that anything that this guy says, anything that I say, is obviously some stuff that happens later. So when this guy says that you get teleports that the when this guy says that the player touches the digital clone character. I'll explain this later. The player that plays Super Hot by this point is a digital clone, and the real guy, um, uh, uh, gets released from the game and is like, "Whoa, cool stuff." Then his dog gets killed as he's briefly playing the VR game while the dog is elsewhere. So after the digital clone dies later, which is something that I'll explain later, he becomes an assassin afterwards. Uh, and this is explained in the Hitman series. If you were to replace Agent 47 with the real Jonas, that isn't the digital clone, that's the story right there for you. Anyways, um, that's his first mistake. Oh no, no, that's not his first mistake. His first mistake was that actually after the player touches the triangle, he gets transported to Half-Life Alex. Then after he does Half-Life Alex, the G-Man teleports him to the future and makes him become Gordon Freeman. Then he defeats the Combine there. Then the G-Man teleports him to Behemoth. Then after Behemoth, the Ghost Girl in that game teleports him to Vacation Simulator. That's the first mistake. And then he meets with the G. But then after his vacation, coffee. Alright, I'm leaving now. Now what happens after that is up on this, but he's out of the lighthouse, and then like I'll show you. There's recaps by this point. Welcome to part of the fisherman, and most of
Stop me.
and then oh god, all right. He's gonna have to explain this one too. And then after that, this is another mistake he made. The Libertalia plane wasn't a spaceship. What actually happens is that the player, flies with his spaceship for a little bit. Then he meets someone called Levi, and then he allows the player to use his spaceship, and then they use his spaceship to go to other planets, which is how he gets the Clockwinder planet. The Libertalia wasn't a spaceship, anyways. Rolled again. It goes to other. That's another. And it's able to travel to other planets. And if anyone else says otherwise about the lore videos that I uploaded and these videos, if anyone says otherwise about these videos that I'm gonna upload, that it's not true. And also anyone that says otherwise about any of the lore videos I've posted, that's also not true. Because anything that I post on these lore in this lore playlist is true. But anyways, if it looks like a flying ship, it's not. It's a spaceship. Right. I said that's not true. Anyways, in my Cthulhu, and I'm Cthulhu. As for everything else, graphics are fixed now. Yay! At least I think they are. Hang on. What? Yeah, that's finished. Okay, just don't mind the order of this. Okay. Oh, and also, after the Waltz the Wizard's videos, he doesn't immediately get teleported. After these videos, the player actually does tasks. Then the Scully turns him into a spy. by the way, because I didn't record any of it. Sorry about that. I could have resetted the game, but I'm not gonna do that. I'd rather just explain it that happened. Anyways, looks weird. Okay, so what is this one? For job as a spy, because he's so... And then, what is this? Accounting Plus. There's only one episode. Oh, and also, the player doesn't touch a lighter, then gets teleported. He actually walks through the door after he touches the doll, and then that door is like a portal, and then that portal sends him to Accounting Plus. Actually. And now we get into the realities. So, these are the first realities. He goes to budget cuts, then Clonedrome and the Hyperdome. Oh no, wait, no. He goes to Clonedrome and the Hyperdome, then budget cuts, then Batman Arkham Shadow, then he goes to the room Dark Matter. But after the room Dark Matter, he doesn't go to Maskmaker yet. He actually goes to let me find the videos. And also Blade and Sorcery isn't uploaded yet. I'll get to it later. Right, this budget cuts. Okay. There's Gorn here and Brutalistic. Those are the new videos. And also, are any of these weirder than Maskmaker? Probably not. No, they're not. None of these are. What actually happens after the room Dark Matter is... Alright. Yeah, well, I think in Brutalistic you're like a bounty hunter, I think. But in Gorn, it's like some weird afterlife shit. And stuff. But, okay. So, here's what here's what's after... Should I really put Brutalistic there? Should I really? I'm probably just gonna do that. Oh well. So what's actually after Dark Matter is that after Dark Matter he gets, and also every time he beats these games, after he beats Batman Arkham Shadow, the Clone the Hyperdome, those games I mentioned, his headset gets taken off. So every game after that, so like after he beats the room Dark Matter, his headset takes off. Then he's teleported to Brutalistic VR. After that, his headset gets taken off. Then after that, he gets teleported to Gorn. Then after Gorn, he gets teleported to Gorn 2. Then after Gorn 2, his headset gets taken off. Then he teleports to... Actually, Blade and Sorcery really is up there with Maskmaker. Okay, and then after his headset gets taken off after Gorn 2, he gets teleported to Maskmaker. Then after his headset gets taken off in Maskmaker, he gets teleported to Blade and Sorcery. And after his headset gets taken off in Blade and Sorcery, he goes to Deep Cuts. And then after his headset gets taken off after Deep Cuts, he finally goes to Wanderer. And then there's no realities after that. And that is the order of games that the player goes through. And that is the order of realities that the player goes through. Anyway, so where's my damn? There it is.
Finally, so in a moment you'll feel
To normal to most normal. So this isn't as quite as normal as I. It's not from normal to most normal. It is from normal to most weird. Would think, but it's normally
No,
not
it's
universal.
from it's from most normal to most weird.
So it makes sense.
Actually,
This isn't quite normal. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
basically, this, but I added a few games,
And then,
and I put the order for that. You know
Wait
what
a
I mean? And basically the order I just
Alright.
explained.
off, and then he's transported to the Mask Maker world. And then another headset is taken off, and he's transported to, what is this called?
And also, when I upload more lore explanation videos, those lore explanations are stuff that happens later. So, there you go. If you're like, what is this? You probably shouldn't watch that lore explanation until you wait for my other videos to upload or watch them. Anyways, yeah.
Cuts world. And then, after that, no, in Mask Maker, he gets scared, and then that happens. And then after this, to, save the crap, not without a sacrifice. He sucked up into.
And then after the doctor gets sucked up, we get on to Hitman World of Assassination. And this whole time, the player that we've been following ever since Super Hot, because the player at that point is a digital clone, we cut to World of Assassination. And I've already explained this, technically. So, after our digital clone character dies, the real Jonas becomes an assassin after that. And then also his dog gets assassinated by the same military that is in Arizona Sunshine 2, without him knowing. So, if you replace Jonas with Agent 47, that's a story for you. And then, after that, after the end of the game, he gets informed that his dog died to the military by Diana. And then, Diana and Jonas get in a relationship and get married. And that is the entire story. That is it. Other than some word explanations, that is it. Goodbye. Oh, and some lore explanations I have to upload on the Quest 3. I forgot. Or wait, technically I could record them onto here, then I could, whatever. Anyway, yeah.